I was laid off of my full-time job nearly 5 months ago. I was serving as the live production manager at a church that my wife and I had helped plant nearly 3 years prior. I was called into a meeting on a Thursday and told that the following Tuesday I would be receiving my final paycheck. I made a whole video about that experience. If you care to watch it, I'll put a link down in the description. But the short version is, I was laid off abruptly. So I had from Thursday until the following Tuesday to find income. And to make matters worse, I was trying really hard not to take another dead-end job working as a barista at a Starbucks or working at some bullcrap, insurance agency situation. I don't want to do that. I'm a creator at heart and I want to continue being a creator. So I needed to find income within the creator space and I had 5 days to do it. And the second thing to complicate matters, my wife was laid off as well. We both got laid off at the same time in the same meeting, which means our income wasn't just cut in half, our income was stopped completely. And I got 5 days to figure it out. Hi, future editing Jared here. I feel it's important to clarify. In this scene, it kind of seems like my wife, my partner, had no intentions to go find work. That is not the case. We both had to go find work. It's just neither of us wanted to go work in an office, so we were both trying to make this whole freelance, creative, retainer thing work. So yeah, I feel like that's really important to mention. She's not a freeloader. She went to go find work as well. We're just talking about the how I made. Okay, anyways, so sorry, back to it. And here we are nearly 5 months later and I've managed to stay afloat. So here are the 5, I'm noticing a trend. There's a lot of 5s in this video. Here are 5 different sources of income that I have found as a creative in that time and I rely on every single day to make a living. Also, there's a bonus source of income at the end of the video. If you stick around, I'll share that one with you as well. Number 1 is remote video editing. Being that I am a video creator online, I obviously have a pretty solid set of video editing chops that video production companies are oftentimes looking for. They want to outsource that stuff. It keeps that workload off of their people. It means they can take on more projects, they can make more money, so on, etc. Not to mention, it's a worthwhile investment for them because they pay me only a fraction of what they actually make off of the project, and it's less hassle for them. And I don't mind video editing. I have a very proficient understanding of Adobe's Premiere Pro, which is what I edit in. I can edit very quickly. I can usually find music pretty quickly. Not to mention, post-production is something that can be done pretty much anywhere. I don't really need Wi-Fi. I mean, I guess if I'm sourcing music or if I'm pulling assets down off of a server, I would need to go somewhere with Wi-Fi. But for the most part, as long as I have everything on my computer or on my SSD, I can edit from anywhere. And again, that is a very key part of this whole thing. I don't want to get stuck working in an office. I also don't want to work on other people's timetables too much. I mean, obviously there's a timetable when it comes to editing someone else's video. They want it done by a certain time, so you have something of a deadline, but they're not managing every hour of your day. They're not watching what time you wake up, what time you go to bed, whether you're working in the evening, you're working in the morning, how many hours you're working. As long as the project gets done, generally the client's pretty happy. The big question you're probably wondering is, how much do I get paid to edit videos? Honestly, it really depends. I have a day rate that I usually charge clients. I also have an hourly rate for smaller projects because every now and again I get approached about editing a short form video, but a fairly general number is usually anywhere between $1,500 to $3,000 per project. Moving on, number 2, social media management. This is an income stream that has become significantly more popular over the last 5 to 10 years. Creatives like me, especially younger creatives, are discovering that lots of businesses, especially local businesses, are oftentimes owned and operated by older people who don't really understand social media. They don't really want anything to do with social media. And so if they can hand that off to someone else, they absolutely will, and they'll pay good money for it. It's 2025. You have to have social media in order to have a successful business in this day and age. Everybody uses Facebook. Most everybody uses Instagram. Lots of people use TikTok. Some people use YouTube. But whatever the case, your business has to have some semblance of a social presence in order for people to even know about you, much less consider shopping at your place of business. Now, in order to tap into this particular particular industry, you're going to need two things. Number one, you're going to need a pretty firm grasp on photography and video production. A significant majority of social media management means generating content for that business. So you're probably going to be going to that business once, twice, maybe 3 times a month, shooting content for them, photo and video stuff, bringing it back, editing it, and then scheduling that content to post at peak optimal times. And that brings us to the second thing you're going to need, which is, hi, future editing Jared here again. God, this is so embarrassing. If you haven't already, please make it a point to subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot, means a lot, helps me grow the channel, makes it to where this channel can also make income for me. If you're feeling froggy, jump. Okay. All right. Last time. I swear this is the last one. A pretty firm grasp of how social media works. You need to understand analytics and insights, which isn't extremely difficult because most business pages, whether on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever, they have a business suite that you can go to that will show you all of these details. It'll show you how many followers you have, when you got them, where you got them from, what are peak times that they're on. Is it mostly men or mostly women? Are they local? Are they out of state? What are they watching? What are they interested in? Which posts are performing better? Which are performing worse? Why did this one perform worse and this one perform better? All of those details can be found within the business suite of all of the social media platforms that you're going to be working in. Being able to read, understand, and utilize those metrics to your advantage is the only way you're going to see any semblance of quantifiable growth on those social media platforms. And take it from somebody who has learned the hard way, if there is no quantifiable growth, they will not keep using you. They will move on and find somebody else. So you can't slack on this one. You have to take this one seriously. The posts have to look really good and it actually has to grow. They actually need to see some sort of ROI or return on investment. For social media management or digital marketing, I usually charge a flat fee depending on the size of the business. It usually ranges anywhere from $500 a month to $1,500 a month. But usually I would say between the $750 to $1,100 mark, that's generally where pretty much every business you work with is going to fall. Also, quick tip, if you're going to reach out to a business about taking over their social media as their social media manager, put together some sort of packet that you can give to them, some sort of PDF that has examples of your work. It explains why they need to hire you and maybe even give them a couple different price package options. Like, this is the lowest one I offer, this is the medium one I offer, this is the highest one I offer. I've had way more success securing clients doing it that way rather than just calling them up and saying, hey, I see your Facebook page sucks. Do you want to pay me $1,000 a month to make it look better? Let's try to be a bit more professional. Number 3 is live ADL production or consulting. Now, this fits a little more into a niche market because not all creatives understand AVL or audio video lighting, especially in a live production capacity. But this is one of the ways that I make money, and there are definitely ways to take your knowledge that you have gained as a creative and apply it in this type of setting if you play your cards right. So basically, I will freelance myself out, my services, my knowledge to churches or to event centers or to places that have speakers that they use to play music to people, or they have events there, or maybe they use stage lighting, or maybe they set up projectors, or maybe they set up cameras for broadcast. If you didn't know, that all sort of falls under the umbrella of live production. My background long before I was ever interested in anything photo video related was as an audio engineer. I became extremely obsessed with the thought and the concept and the theory behind audio. What makes it sound good? What makes it sound bad? How do the ears respond when they hear this over this? And these skills afforded me pretty much every work opportunity that I've had in my adult life, namely working in churches as either the production assistant or maybe a production manager. But I've also had opportunities to go work in venues, mixing audio there, or helping with integration over here, various things like that. For live production and consulting services, I usually charge $150 per hour. Number 4, UGC. UGC stands for user-generated content. And what this generally means is a company will reach out and say, hey, we produce this product and we love your style of filmmaking. Would you be interested in filming content of our product and providing it to us to use for advertisement or social media or what have you, and we will cut you a check for your time. This is a fantastic way to make income because not only is there money involved in it, there's usually free products as well. However, oftentimes a pitfall that you'll find is that companies will reach out and they will think that the product should be the payment. We make this great thing, you're gonna love it, it's gonna be so much fun, you're gonna use it all the time. Make content around that product and you get to keep it. And the truth is, in 2025, that shouldn't be a thing anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, I love free stuff. Everybody loves free stuff. However, free stuff doesn't always pay the bills. Actually, back up, free stuff never pays the bills. Unless you turn around and sell it and get cash for it, free stuff doesn't pay the bills. So oftentimes you have to be a bit direct with some of these companies and say, hey, I don't mind taking this product and shooting content for you, but I can only do it for this set amount of money, or here's how much I charge per hour to shoot content. What that usually looks like is one of two things. Either they will say, never mind, screw you, I'm taking my ball and going home, or they'll figure out a way to make that work with you. Sometimes that'll look like they agree to the cash, but they send you a loaner product. So you shoot the content and then when you're done with it, you have to send the product back. That kind of sucks. It's not really fun to do it that way, but every now and again, a company will agree to your terms or will find some sort of middle ground to where you get to keep the free product and you get paid, and that's the sweet spot. That's what you should be looking for. Another great way to go about this is by taking products that you already own, shooting interesting content around that, and then posting it to social media and tagging those companies in the post. That's actually how I got my foot in the door with One Wheel. They are a company that I work with, and that relationship started because I posted something to my Instagram, a video that I made about one of their boards, and I tagged them in it. That piqued their interest, so they reached out. And now I've had the opportunity to shoot content for them in exchange for income, which is amazing. I've also had the opportunity to shoot content for them in exchange for goods. I've gotten a new One Wheel recently, and that's also extremely cool. So all that to say, don't be afraid to shop your house. Look for things in your home that are aesthetically pleasing. Find ways to shoot photos or shoot video of that content. Post it to your social media, tag the company in it. You'd be surprised. For UGC, or user-generated content, the price range is fairly broad because it really depends on what all I'm doing for them, but the price range usually lives anywhere between $800 to $2,500, depending on, am I just shooting the footage and giving it to them? Am I just shooting photos and giving it to them? Am I having to edit it? Are we doing any revisions? So on, etc. And last but not least, number 5, photography and video production. This one's probably extremely obvious, but photography and video production services are largely sought after pretty much anywhere I go. Small town, large town, doesn't matter. Just about everybody I know needs photos, whether it be photos of their dog or photos of their car, or maybe they're getting married, or there's an event coming up that they need filmed, or maybe this business needs new headshots, or maybe this company needs interior photos of their new business for their grand opening. The market is borderline endless. Now, granted, being a full-time photographer and video production studio is not really what I'm after, so I more lean into being a second shooter, or maybe going on and being a production assistant or a camera op for a production house. That's more my speed. I'm not really trying to start, Jared Winkler photography and then grow that to be this huge, big exponential thing, because I'm not really trying to pigeonhole myself into one thing. I have multiple eggs in this basket and I'm trying to balance all of them at the same time. So I don't usually take on really large photo video projects. I more like to come in a supporting role. And although that means I make less money doing that, it also means that I get to continue doing all of these other things. For photography and video production needs, it's really hard to just land on a number or even a price range because it really is dependent. It sort of varies from project to project. Is it a big wedding? Is it a small wedding? Am I a second shooter or am I the main guy? Am I going in as a production assistant? What am I doing? So I would say a good range, whether I'm a second shooter or I'm the main guy, it ranges anywhere from $500 per project to $3,000 per project. So those are my 5 main income streams as a creator since being laid off. But if you remember at the beginning of the video, I said there was a bonus tip here at the end of the video, and it's this, it's YouTube. I do make a little bit of money from YouTube, namely from sponsors, and it's all because of people like you who watch my videos. When people watch my videos, sponsors notice that, and they want access to that audience. So they reach out to me and they offer me a sum of money to talk about their company in my videos. And that is the main way that I would like to make income moving forward. I would love for YouTube to be my main source of income, but I can't do it without you. For transparency's sake, as I've done with all of the other tips, this YouTube channel with 2,000 subscribers, I usually make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 per ad read in my videos. And that usually looks like a 90-second ad read. You've seen them in pretty much everybody's videos where they say, this video is sponsored by so-and-so, and then they talk about them for 90 seconds. That is my price range as a relatively small creator, and I really hope for that number to grow. But in order for that number to grow, my audience has to grow. And in order for the audience to grow, I need you to subscribe to the channel. If you like content like this, if you like learning about being a creator, if you like learning about being a freelancer, if you like learning about photography and videography, or if you just like having a good time, because believe me, this is the place to be if you like to have a good time. Sometimes, most of the time. We have a good time most of the time, right? Please don't forget to like the video. It helps the YouTube algorithm push my videos out to more people, and that helps a lot. And also, don't forget to leave a comment, because not only is it engagement that the YouTube algorithm also likes, but I love commenting with you guys. I love seeing the comments and replying to stuff and talking to you guys. It's really cool to put like a face or a name to just this arbitrary number that is subscribers or viewers. All of my top creator friends say not to say goodbye. They say to just end it abruptly, because that's how you make sure people watch all the way to the end. So just consider this